and his plans came into the business and political scenes in Thailand. Thaksin used his wealth, buying his way into politics, and finally took over the country under the pretense of democratic voting, when in truth it was vote buying. The rigged vote buying is done in plain sight. The rigged vote buying has been done through various expensive populist schemes. The most obvious and destructive one being the rice buying scheme, which resulted in financial disaster, creating great sufferings among Thai rice farmers nationwide today. The crooked rice schemes affects the livelihood of farmers all over the country. It threatens to destroy the whole culture of agriculture in Thailand. But it has created massive wealth among Thaksin, Yingluck's collaborators and cronies overnight. Regardless of suffering of farmers, the Yingluck government continues to hold on to power. You can clap and whistle when I pause, if you don't understand my English. I will not translate in Thai. Sorry about that. This is meant for the Thai crowd. This is meant for the international communities and medias in Thailand and around the world. The present Yingluck government continues to hang on to power, disregarding the constitutional court decision against them. The Pheu Thai party, which runs the government, came out defying the constitutional court decision. This, under the normal circumstances, under the normal democratic society, when respectable politicians have ethical code of conduct, should be more than enough reason for Yingluck government to resign and return to power, and return the power to the people. There are numerous other instances which could have made Yingluck government resign and return the power to the people. When they were caught red-handed trying to sneak in the infamous amnesty bill, aiming to set the Prime Minister Big Brother free of all criminal penalties and offences, that was when Yingluck should have resigned, if she had any democratic sense of public trust and responsibility. Right. When the people began the mass rally in protest against the Yingluck Thaksin government demanding resignation, it was the true voice of the people that the government should listen to, but they did not. When the voice of the people against the government became so strong, numbering between 5 to 10 million and more, this was when Yingluck government should have resigned, if she had any democratic sense of public trust and responsibility. And she did not resign. The people has formed a formal organization called the People Democratic Reform Committee, or the PDRC, calling for not only the resignation of the Prime Minister Yingluck and her government, but the people demand a comprehensive reform of the country's democratic infrastructure. In the fourth month of peaceful protests both in Bangkok and in provinces around the country, the people are now demanding a complete overhaul of democracy in Thailand. And I wholeheartedly support the people. By the term, the people, I shall from now on call by its original name, Muan Maha Prachachon, or the great mass of the people of Thailand. Yes, we strongly condemn the present corrupted Yingluck Thaksin government and the whole systematic corruption destroying Thailand under the name of Thaksin regime. I use the term Yingluck Thaksin government because Sister Yingluck is running the government in Bangkok by daily commands from Brother Thaksin, who is abroad. Now you're getting used to my English, right? Thaksin commands Sister Yingluck from Dubai, from Hong Kong, from Singapore, and recently from Chatrium Hotel in Yangon. Thaksin openly admitted that Yingluck is his clone. She is not the real Prime Minister of Thailand. She is not even a true person. As a clone, Yingluck is merely living and breathing Thaksin's orders. I am ashamed of my country for having such a Prime Minister like Yingluck, who has taken Thailand into the world-class international embarrassment. Kun Yingluck should be ashamed of herself and should have resigned the first time she heard Thaksin say that she was his clone. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not democracy. This is crazy. After finishing my education from the University of Delhi and the University of Pennsylvania, I taught political science and international relations at Chulalongkorn University for 14 years. I later joined the media profession as television news reporter and presenter. Representing my province of Suphanburi, I was elected to draft the 1997 People's Constitution. I was directly elected senator from Suphanburi in the year 2000. I was also appointed member of the National Legislative Assembly in 2007. I know my democracy. Thank you. I had high hope that my dream of a real democracy in Thailand will someday be a reality. My dream has been broken by the taking over of the country by the Thaksin regime. The Thaksin regime buys votes, buys self-serving civil servants, buys power-seeking local governments, buys members of the parliament and their votes to enable the passing of the laws benefiting Thaksin and his clan's personal wealth. Thaksin regime steals the wealth of the nation in broad living daylights. The Thaksin regime buys the media as well, simply by taking over as big shareholder or by offering big advertising budget to newspapers and television. As a government in power, the Thaksin regime dictates state media, both in propaganda content and in making appointments of all key positions in the state-controlled media. Top positions in the Public Relations Department and the Mass Communication Organization of Thailand has to be approved by Kun Thaksin in Dubai. Kun Thaksin at one time even managed to be on the cover of Time magazine for the edition reaching the Thai readers, while the rest of the world got a different versions reading different cover stories. Illegal and systematic corruption was being practiced and will be practiced by the Thaksin regimes in the future if the Muan Maha Prachachon cannot stop the Thaksin regime. That is why we are here today. And that is why we have been here for the past 4 months. The Muan Maha Prachachon have been staging his mass protest, going through heat and cold, hunger and fear. And the people will continue to be here for as long as needed to bring down the Yingluck government and the Thaksin regime. Thanks to the People's Democratic Reform Committee, who is considerate enough to provide us enough food and water and a few rare relaxing moments in between. This is a superb organization I have never seen anywhere else but here in Thailand. Also, thanks to the generosity of donors, particularly the people of Bangkok, who not only donate generously to Kamnan Suthep for the cause of the reform of democracy in Thailand, the people of Bangkok also happily allow us to occupy Bangkok, their loving home. The citizens of Bangkok wholeheartedly support the cause to reform democracy in Thailand and always come out and join the Muan Maha Prachachon in full force, days and nights. I hope that Kun Yingluck will understand how powerful the people power truly is. If Kun Yingluck cannot understand this, I am sure the international community will understand and tell the world about what the people of Thailand is demanding right now. The Muan Maha Prachachon do not demand a non-democratic society. The campaign against the general elections on February 2nd was not against democracy. The people demand nothing less than a full democracy. This is when the Muan Maha Prachachon's demand and my dream converges. We are here demanding a full democracy, fully functioning under a truly democratic constitution. But this cannot be done unless we bring down the Yingluck Thaksin government and completely dismantle the Thaksin regime. I demand a full democracy, and I demand Kun Yingluck to resign immediately and return the power to the people. I demand nothing less than a full democracy. According to the Democracy Index of 2012, recently published by the Economist Intelligence Unit, Thailand is a flawed democracy, not a full democracy. We rank 58 among 167 countries in the world. Our system of government is inferior to South Korea, Japan, South Africa, Taiwan, India, Timor-Leste, and Indonesia. We do badly in all categories: the electoral process and pluralism, functioning of government, political participation, political culture, civil liberties. We are doing very badly. Ladies and gentlemen of the international community, if men were angels, no government would be necessary. If a man and a lesser woman plays angels, running a country, it is about time to bring them down. Bring them down now. Thaksin and Yingluck has no business running my country. They have no idea about democracy. They have given Thai democracy a bad name. They are a couple of idiots. couple of idiots running a government of idiots. Ladies and gentlemen, the word idiot. Ladies and gentlemen, the word idiot is in fact not such a harsh word or an abusive expression at all. 145 years ago, John Ruskin, in his famous book, Unto This Last, the book that changed Mahatma Gandhi's life, the book that Mahatma Gandhi loved so much that he translated it into Gujarati. John Ruskin said that idiot is a Greek word meaning a person entirely occupied with his own concerns. So idiot, I-D-I-O-T, idiot, is actually a good normal word. It means a selfish person. So Kamnan Suthep is right back there. So Kamnan Suthep, you can call Thaksin and Yingluck idiots. You can call Thaksin and Yingluck idiots because it is a polite word. You will not be accused of being abusive. You have my permission to do so. This is well within the principle of ahimsa. Yingluck and Thaksin, these two leading idiots, having been leading Thailand down the drain. According to the 2012 Prosperity Index research, Thailand ranks number 56 among 142 countries in the world, dropping down 4 positions from the previous years. Number 4 in ASEAN, after Singapore, Malaysia, and Vietnam. Singapore is at the top of ASEAN prosperity, ranking number 19 in the world. On the subject of Safety and Security Index, Thailand ranked number 99 in the world, and in ASEAN, we are number 7. People in Singapore, Laos, Vietnam, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Cambodia enjoy safer and more secure lives than the Thai people. As for personal freedom, Thailand stands at number 129 among 142 countries, and Thailand is at the bottom of ASEAN ranking. We are the worst country in ASEAN. People in Singapore, in the Philippines, Indonesia, Laos, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Cambodia all enjoy greater personal freedom than us in Thailand. All this has happened to us during the present idiot government. There are more embarrassing stories to show the world from Thailand. The World Economic Forum report of 2013 and 2014 tells the world that the quality of education system in Thailand is number 78 among 148 countries in the world. We are number 8 in ASEAN among 10 countries. Singapore, Malaysia, Brunei, Indonesia, the Philippines, and Laos do have better education system than Thailand. And this is happening during the present idiot government. Thailand and Cambodia are at the same low level of quality of education. Now listen to this, my idiot government. The World Economic Forum reports that for transparency of government policy making, Thailand is number 93 in the world and number 6 in ASEAN. The government of Singapore and Malaysia, Brunei and Indonesia perform better than Thailand. For public trust in politicians, Thailand is number 127 in the world and at the bottommost of ASEAN. All the other 9 ASEAN countries have way better politicians than Thai politicians. This government of idiots is so shameful, too shameful to live with. Yes, there are more. On the topic of corruption concerning irregular payments and bribes, Thailand numbers 77 in the world and number 4 in ASEAN. On the diversion of public funds, we rank 101 in the world and number 9 in ASEAN. On favoritism in decision of government officials, Singapore is best in the world as number 1. Thailand is number 93 in world ranking and number 9 in ASEAN, only better than Myanmar. On wastefulness of government spending, we are number 107 in the world and at the bottommost in ASEAN. The government of India is the champion of wasteful spending. Finally, the reliability of the police service in Thailand. Thailand ranks number 109 in the world among 148 countries, number 8 in ASEAN. The police service in Singapore, Brunei, Malaysia, Laos, Indonesia, the Philippines, and Vietnam are much better than the Thai police. Kamnan Suntep is right in calling for the reform of the Thai police, and we must do it right away. There is no denying that all this shameful, sorrow state of affairs of Thailand has been the work of Yingluck Thaksin regime, the government of idiots. This government of idiots has destroyed the infrastructure of democracy in Thailand almost completely, and we must stop it before it is too late. Ladies and gentlemen of the international community, I still have a dream. I still have a dream of a full democracy in Thailand. I dream of Thailand being a prosperous and peaceful country. I dream of Thailand being a true democratic society. I dream of Thailand being a kingdom of brotherly love where all loyal subjects care and share with each other. For us, the Muan Maha Prachachon, into the 4th month of fighting in a peaceful way, the fight may end either in a few days ahead or it may take longer days. But I am sure it will end in the victory of the people. I am sure it will end for the victory of the people, for the cause of our fight is righteous. Our will is strong. Our determination is limitless. Our heart is full of love for our fatherland, our kingdom of Thailand. We are here fighting for the complete reform of democracy in Thailand. We do not demand anything less than this. We want full democracy for Thailand. We want the Thai people to stand head and shoulder with the civilized world. We demand the resignation of acting Prime Minister Yingluck. We are here to dismantle the Yingluck Thaksin regime. So, stop the Yingluck Thaksin regime and we can restart Thailand. Thank you and good night. Thank you. Everybody understood my speech. ขอบคุณมากครับ
ขอบคุณมากค่ะอาจารย์ขาแต่ว่ามีหลายท่านนี่ส่งเสียงมาบอกว่าอยากรู้ในรายละเอียดที่อาจารย์ พูดไปก็อยากให้อาจารย์สรุปให้ฟังคร่าวๆค่ะ
คือที่ไม่แปลเพราะว่ามันจะไปคล้ายๆมันจะไปสะดุดนะครับคือเนื่องจากว่าทางกปปส.บอกว่าอยากจะให้สื่อถึงชาวต่างชาติโดยเฉพาะคณะทูตานุทูตที่ไม่เข้าใจว่าที่เรามากันเนี่ยมาขัดขวางประชาธิปไตยหรืออย่างไรผมก็บอกอย่างตลอดเวลาที่พูดนะครับว่าผมรู้จักประชาธิปไตยดีไม่ว่าจะในฐานะที่เป็นอาจารย์ที่เรียนทางด้านรัฐศาสตร์ปรัชญาความสัมพันธ์ระหว่างประเทศเป็นสื่อมวลชนเป็นสมาชิกรัฐสภาในหลายอย่างเนี่ยผมเข้าใจประชาธิปไตยดีเพราะฉะนั้นที่เรามาที่เนี่ยเราต้องการประชาธิปไตยที่แท้จริงประชาธิปไตยแบบเต็มรูปแบบที่คุณทักษิณและคุณยิ่งลักษณ์ทำอยู่ทุกวันนี้ is not democracy ไม่ใช่ประชาธิปไตย it is crazy อันนี้ท่านคงเข้าใจนะครับแล้วก็อธิบายไปว่าความฝันของผมและของท่านเนี่ยจะเป็นจริงเมื่อเราได้ทำหน้าที่ต่อสู้เรียกร้องประชาธิปไตยที่สมบูรณ์อย่างเต็มรูปแบบแต่ว่าผมจะมีตัวอย่างหลายตัวอย่างที่ชี้เห็นว่าประเทศไทยกำลังตกต่ำอย่างสุดขีดภายใต้การบริหารงานในช่วง 2-3 ปีที่ผ่านมา2 ปีที่ผ่านมาของรัฐบาลยิ่งลักษณ์โดยสำนักวิจัยต่างประเทศ2 แห่งซึ่งเป็นที่เชื่อถือในระดับโลกนะครับบอกแล้วว่าประเทศไทยตกต่ำไม่ว่าจะเป็นเรื่องที่ต่ำมากๆคือความน่าเชื่อถือของนักการเมืองตกต่ำที่สุดในอาเซียนตำรวจในประเทศไทยก็ต่ำที่สุดในอาเซียนสิทธิเสรีภาพแล้วก็อื่นๆอีกหลายอย่างทางด้านการเมืองการศึกษาของเราก็ตกต่ำอยู่อันดับที่8ของอาเซียนก็ชี้ให้เห็นตัวเลขจริงๆที่ฝรั่งเขาสำรวจเพราะฉะนั้นเราไม่มีความจำเป็นจะต้องไปชี้แจงกับฝรั่งว่าดีหรือไม่ดีอย่างไรเพราะฝรั่งเนี่ยเขามองเห็นตัวเลขเพียงแต่ว่าสื่อมวลชนต่างชาติเนี่ยเขาจะอ่านหรือมองเห็นหรือไม่เท่านั้นเองแล้วผมก็บอกว่าคุณยิ่งลักษณ์เนี่ยไม่ใช่นายกรัฐมนตรีที่แท้จริงคุณทักษิณเป็นนายกคุณทักษิณให้สัมภาษณ์ชัดเจนก่อนที่คุณยิ่งลักษณ์จะเป็นนายกว่ายิ่งลักษณ์เป็นเพียงก๊อปปี้หรือตัวโคลนนิ่งไม่ใช่ตัวจริงผมก็เพียงเอาความจริงเก่ามาเล่าให้ฟังแล้วก็บอกว่าเมื่อพี่ชายหาว่าน้องสาวไม่ใช่คนที่แท้จริงก็น่าจะลาออกตั้งนานแล้วนะครับถ้ามีคำหนึ่งที่ท่านอาจจะนึกว่าผมใช้คำหยาบนะครับคือคำว่า idiots idiots เป็นภาษากรีกอธิบายไว้เมื่อ150 ปีที่แล้วในหนังสือที่มหาธรรมการทีชอบอ่านแล้วจริงๆคาร์ล มาร์กซ์ผู้เป็นต้นตำรับลัทธิสังคมนิยมก็พูดถึงคำว่า idiot ไว้ว่าเป็นภาษากรีกหมายความว่าผู้เห็นแก่ตัวผมก็เลยเห็นกำนันสุเทพพยายามจะพูดให้เพราะมากขึ้นทุกวันกลัวว่าจะไม่กล้าใช้คำว่า idiot ก็อนุญาตให้กำนันใช้คำว่า idiot ได้ทุกคืนนะครับเพราะว่าไม่ผิดหลักอหิงสาเป็นภาษากรีกโบราณก็ประมาณนั้นนะครับขออภัยที่พูดภาษาอังกฤษแบบสุพรรณบุรีต่างหากนะครับ Thank you only one time and I shall return